Welcome to the Do Life and a Body You Love podcast. I'm Nikki O'Day, and we are going to talk about any and every topic that will get you showing up bigger and bolder in your life. Weight loss, relationships, mindset, it's all on the table. It may not come out real PC, but if you're sick of motivational rah-rah talks that don't lead to any real change in your life, then you're in the right place. Let's jump into today's episode. What's up, lovely ladies? Today we are going to talk about the dreaded weight loss plateau. I know it's terrible. We all hate it when it happens, but it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And so we have to be prepared for it, right? So today I want to address a couple of different things. Number one, how do you even know if you're really in a plateau? Because people actually get this confused. Number two, what does it really mean if you're in a plateau? What is your body saying to you? And then I'm going to give you 3 things that you should not do in regards to being in a weight loss plateau. Okay, so first issue at hand here. How do we know when we're in one? So you're losing weight really well and the scale stops and it hasn't moved in 3 days. Are you in a plateau? No, my dear, you are not in a plateau. How about a week? How about 2 weeks? How about a month? Okay, so my rule of thumb when I'm working with somebody, now this depends on where they're at. Are we newly starting to lose weight? Do we have a lot to lose? Things like that. But for the most part, if you've been stalled on the scale for 2 to 3 weeks, I would say more towards the 3-week mark, you are officially in a plateau as far as my own personal definitions of that goes. And why do I wait so long to say that it's officially a plateau and that we need to make some sort of adjustment? Well, here's why. First of all, women's bodies fluctuate weight a lot, especially if you're still in a menstrual cycle. But even if you're not in a menstrual cycle, if you're working a lot of hours, if you have extra stressors, if you've been traveling, there's all kinds of things that can make weight shift in our body. And it doesn't mean that what we're doing isn't working. Sometimes your body is just going through an adjustment period, and making a change to your plan may be a little bit premature and get you to a point where things aren't super enjoyable. So you don't want to make changes too soon. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure you are in fact in a plateau. 2 to 3 weeks, maybe you'll start thinking that you are. Now, let's say that you are. Yes, it's super annoying, but it's actually telling us something really cool unless you're crash dieting. If you're crash dieting and you hit a plateau, that's bad news bears. But if you're going about things in a sustainable way and you're fueling your body and you're giving it all the things that it wants, but the weight loss comes to a halt, your body has reached a new level of fitness, girlfriend. And that was the goal, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, the things that got you from point A to point B, and now your body leveled up here, right? Okay, so we want to take it to the next level. We're going to have to implement some different strategies. Does that make sense? So while it's frustrating because we have to go back to the drawing board and we have to figure out how we're going to get off of this plateau, it's actually telling you that what you did was great. You got yourself to a new level. It's time to go level up. Okay, now how do we level up? I can't tell you that on this podcast because there's a million different things that you could possibly need to do. And this is something that I work with my clients on, but I will tell you a few things that you do not want to do. And hopefully this will help some of you who are either going to be having a plateau soon or are stuck in one. Number one, you need to plan for it to happen. Like count on it going into your weight loss journey. Know that the plateaus are inevitable. It happens to everybody. And if you go into a diet or some sort of fat loss program or whatever it is, and you think that it's just going to be smooth sailing and you're never going to get stuck, that sets us up with unrealistic expectations. And that's frustrating for us, right? So you got to go into this knowing ahead of time, hey, this is part of the gig. It is what it is, and I'll deal with it when it comes. When we're not mentally prepared for it, it's crushing, right? And then that leads us to the second thing I was going to tell you not to do, which is don't just quit. Don't be like, oh, I'm at a plateau. I knew this wouldn't work. I'm going to quit. Because if you quit, then you're never going to break off that plateau, right? And you'll probably end up gaining your weight back. And that's not what you want to do. You don't want to waste all the hard work that you just did. You just got to find a way around this. So how these two go together, not counting on having a plateau, leads to quitting because we get frustrated. Everything's plugging along. And then when it stops, we feel defeated. We feel like there's something wrong with us. We think, oh my gosh, my body is just broken. This clearly works. It was working and now it's not. So something's wrong with my body. Something's wrong with my metabolism, or it frustrates us. And then that leads to us falling back into our old behaviors. Right? So you're frustrated that the scale's not moving. And so you're like, well, screw it. I'm just going to eat all the pizza anyways, because the scale's not moving. And then when we do that, we beat ourselves up about that. And we're like, see, I knew I couldn't do this. And we make it mean all of these things that it don't mean. So don't make your plateau mean anything about you. It don't mean anything about you other than your body's reached a new level and it's time to level up. So here's the important piece of this. The answer to the plateau is not always eat less, and it's not always move more. So that is the trap that we fall for when we see the number come to a halt on the scale. We think, oh my gosh, all right, so if I was eating this amount of calories, then I need to eat less calories. Or if I'm doing a bunch of cardio, then I need to go do more cardio. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a simple pull some calories. But sometimes your body needs something different. Maybe you need different workouts. Maybe there's something you're missing in your diet that your body needs to level up. Maybe it's stress. Maybe it's sleep. Maybe it's there's so many things that affect our weight. And so you have to get to the root of why that why that plateau is there in the first place if you're going to figure out how to overcome it. Now, maybe it's the case that you're building muscle while you're burning fat. Now, they say that's not true. In my opinion, if you're new to strength training, it is. Because I've done it and I've had clients do it. And so, yeah, you might have these fluctuations if you're gaining muscle while you're burning fat, where the scale's not moving a whole lot. Maybe it's not going as fast as you want it to, but it is moving in the right direction. But more importantly, you're seeing changes in your body composition. Then you just probably need to be patient. You're not really probably truly in a plateau. However, if you even with strength training, have not seen that number budge in weeks or months, then yeah, girl, you're in a plateau. You need to do something about it if there's still a ways to go. But how many less calories are you going to eat? Like, the answer can't always be eat less, eat less, eat less, right? So this is where you have to get strategic. And you have to address all of the factors that can affect your weight, look at them all and say, okay, what would give my body the biggest bang for the buck? Maybe it's removing some food. Maybe it's actually adding back some food. Sometimes your body needs a readjustment period. Maybe you've lost a lot of weight and your body needs like a little bit of a maintenance phase, which is not the same thing as an all-out binge, right? So you have to address this for you if you're not working with a coach and figure out what the smart play is. But don't freak out and just start starving your body. That is what a lot of women do when they hit a plateau. They freak. They've been making so much good progress. And I understand because I used to do the same thing, right? Like, okay, so I'm eating a little bit less food and the scale's moving and then the scale stops moving. And it's like, well, I guess I got to eat less food. I understand that mindset. I used to have that mindset, but I'm telling you that that's not effective. You will end up very hungry. You will end up with a slower metabolism. You will end up very frustrated and you'll end up on some sort of a meal plan or way of eating that's not really sustainable for you for the long haul. So if you're already feeling hungry and the scale stops, the answer is almost certainly not eat less. It may be eat different. Okay. But it wouldn't be eat less. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. Listen to your bodies, ladies, that your bodies will give you clues about what they want. You just have to know how to interpret them. So I want to encourage you that if you are stuck, nothing is broken about your body. Nothing is broken about your mind. And no, you don't have to starve yourself to get off that plateau. You just need to work smarter, not harder. Okay. But don't quit. Don't give up. Expect the plateaus. They are coming. They are coming for us all. But they're not as bad as we think. Right? It doesn't mean anything is broken inside of us. It just means we've reached a new level. And if we want to level up, then we got to level up our game too. So I'm sure you all are going to have a lot of questions about that because, again, this is so incredibly personalized as to how you get off of the plateau. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out. This is what I help women do all the time. You can reach out to me on social media or the links that are in the show notes. But I just wanted to encourage you all because I've been hearing this a lot from women as we're approaching summer is like, the scale's slowing down. I'm in a plateau. Or the scale hasn't moved in a few days. I'm in a plateau. And it's like, oh, girl, no, that's fine. Calm down. So identifying if you're actually in a plateau and then identifying what the best course of action is. Just kind of be chill about it. It's okay. Don't stress about it because the stress is going to make things worse. Just know that you can do this. You've got this. It's just time to level up. Make sense? Curious to hear your guys' thoughts as always. So reach out and let me know. Thanks for tuning in. It is my mission to give women back the confidence that they need to show up bigger in their lives. Right now, the world more than ever needs women who are on fire and living their purpose. If you want to join me in this mission, there's a few things you can do. 1, you can share this podcast with the women in your circle. 2, you can join me in my Facebook group, Simplified Fat Loss, or you can subscribe to my newsletter at nikkiode.com.